Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Colleen, and if you're returning to see another video, then I appreciate you coming back week after week to watch what I'm cooking up in my little kitchen. Here in the Columbia Valley where I live in the Rocky Mountains, British Columbia, we have gone from being summertime where it was really hot to being fall the last couple days. The mornings, the car windows are covered with dew and the fog is lying low in the valley, so you know that there's been a change in the season. So far the weather's been really good, but it has definitely cooled off. So I thought today would be a perfect day to bring you a new soup. Now, it's not new to us. We love this soup, but it might be new to you, and it's something that you could add into your routine of soups for the fall. So today we're going to make a creamy tomato tortellini soup, and it comes together really quick. You could also do this in the slow cooker and cook it all day long. But I like it because it does come together quick and I can have it on in no time. So without further ado, let's get to it. I'll gather up the things that I need to get this started and we'll make some soup, and I'll see you right after this. Now for this first part of this soup, I'm gonna use my soup pot, or my big pot. I think this is about 5 quarts. I think that's what they're called. I don't think it's marked. Nope. But it's a good heavy bottom pot. I like it for making soups in. And I have 500 grams of mild Italian sausage. And I'm not going to use quite all of it. I am going to use 4 of the 5 sausages. If you like more meat in yours, by all means, add that last sausage. I know that we'll use the extra sausage tomorrow morning for breakfast, so I'm not worried about it going bad. And I'm just gonna take it out of the skin, so I'm just cutting them down lengthwise and peel that skin off because we don't need that in our soup. And I'm just gonna break it into small chunks and just continue this process until we have all these done. I'd be interested in hearing what your weather situation is like where you are. Has it cooled off at all? Are you expecting it to? It's maybe, I heard my husband say something yesterday that surprised me, but he said that for the past few weeks he's been praying for a foot of snow. And all his years as a logging truck driver, I've never heard him say that, but it has been not only a hot summer, but we've also had to deal with a lot of smoke from forest fires. And once the snow hits the ground, we know that our forest fire danger is really over. So that would be, if for no other reason, just the fact that we could have clear skies would be great. In the past 4 or 5 days here, the skies have been beautiful, no hint of smoke, and it's such a treat after having a summer where we were inundated with it, I guess. It covered everything. It was hard to breathe outside, so it's been a real treat this last few days to have nice clear skies. Now I am going to put this pot on the stove and I am going to fry up this meat. I didn't add any oil to the pan because I feel like the sausages have enough fat in them. And besides, we have to drain it at the end, drain the fat off or remove the fat. And so there's no sense, you know, making more work for ourselves having to take it off later. It is definitely okay if this gets a little brown, but you don't really want to overcook it. So I'll take this to the stove, I'll get it started frying, wash up my hands, and I'll gather up everything else that we need for this. And you'll be surprised, it's not very much. I'll see you right back here. You may still hear the meat cooking on the stove. I've just pulled it to the side because it was really getting brown on the bottom of the pot. But I wanted to run through the ingredients with you, and then we'll get on with making the soup. I'm watching the sodium in this because a number of these things are predetermined, prepackaged things. So you want to try and keep your sodium down as much as you can. So I have 30% less sodium chicken broth. I have 1 liter, or about 1 quart. More wouldn't hurt for sure. I have 2 cans of 25%, no, of light tomato soup. I have 2 cans of that. I have 1 can of diced tomatoes, no salt added. This way we can control our salt. We need a cup of whipping cream. We need 6.5 cups or 7 cups of this is a 4-cheese tortellini. I just buy it out of the, I guess it's in the deli section at the grocery store. These come in 350 gram packages, and I used about 1.5 packages for this recipe. The rest of these I'll put in a plastic bag, and I'll put them in the fridge to use for something else another day. If you can get them in bigger containers and just take out what you need, that would be great. If I used all of these, this would be a tortellini dish and not a soup dish. As it is, it's pretty dense with tortellinis using 1.5 packages. So I opened the packages just so that I could get an idea to show you how much it was, and it comes out on the high side of 6 cups, about 6.5 cups. And last but not least, we need 1 container. I wish I could tell you how many ounces this is, but it doesn't say on the container. Does it say on the top? Yes, 340 grams of Philadelphia herb and garlic spreadable cream cheese. And this is really important. You could use just like a brick of cream cheese and then maybe add some herbs and garlic to it and come out with the same result. So I'm just going to grab the pot off the stove so that I can give you an idea how I remove the fat for the soup, and I will be right back. Now, can I show you this without tipping the pot over? See, it's got quite brown in the bottom of the pot, and for us that's just flavor. So I'm going to grab some kitchen towel, and I'm going to grab a pair of tongs from my drawer. And I am going to move the meat to one side and try and get as much of the oil as possible to run downhill. And then I'm just going to, because this is still hot, I'm going to take my kitchen towel and my tongs, and I'm just going to put it into the bottom of the pot and let it sop up as much of the fat as possible so that we don't have a lot of fat floating around on top of our beautiful soup, because this is really a beautiful presentation soup. So I'm going to put that one in the sink, and I'll just grab one more because there's a little more left in there, and I really want to drain it as much as possible because it is a fatty meat to that Italian sausage. I think any Italian sausage would work, so it doesn't need to be that brand. Okay. That is looking good. Now, the things that we need to go into this pot right now are the chicken broth, and I'm using a whole container. You could definitely use more. When you get to the end of this, if you think it's too thick for your palate, then you could definitely add a little more chicken stock to it, and it wouldn't hurt a thing. We're going to add this container of tomatoes, and it's a very creamy soup. We love it. One thing about this soup also that we love, because my husband is on the road and we make him lunches to take with him, we put them in little tinfoil containers with little lids, tinfoil lids that we get from the dollar store. And he's got a little fridge and a little oven in his big truck, so he can reheat meals if they're in tinfoil containers. Some meals reheat better than others. So this is one of those meals that reheats really well. And I was kind of worried about it because of the noodles. They don't always reheat that well, but these tortellini reheated super well. He's very pleased with them, and he loves this recipe. So does Peyton, our niece who lives with us. She loves this recipe as well, so it's definitely a keeper. It makes a lot of soup, so you could make this once and have it for a meal. It's definitely hearty enough to have for a dinner, and you could have it for your dinner, and then you could freeze the remainder or eat leftovers for a couple of days, because it will make this pot 2/3 full for sure, and that's a lot of soup. So that's what we need in there for now. Doesn't seem like an awful lot, and we are going to the stove with this, and I'll be back when it comes to a boil. I'm actually going to bring it to a boil, and I'll boil it about 10 minutes. I think if you were putting this into a crock pot, at this point you could put this maybe 6 hours or 8 hours on low, so you could set it in the morning and have it for dinner. I'm sure that it wouldn't hurt it at all to be in a crock pot all day. So I'll be back when this has done its business on the stove. So over here at the stove, I've had some camera issues and it shut down on me. So I'm going to explain what I've done so far. I made sure that I stirred the soup really good. I let it boil away here, pretty good boil for about 10 minutes. And then I lowered the temperature down to almost as low as my stove would go. And then I added into that this softened herb and garlic cream cheese, which I softened in the microwave for 45 seconds on high power. And then I mixed it really good with the whisk into the soup. Then I added the 1 cup of whipping cream. Now if you're trying to keep this a little more healthy or fat-free, you could certainly use milk in this or more chicken stock, I suppose. But this is creamy tomato tortellini. And so I stirred it pretty well. There may be a few small cream cheese pieces in there yet, but I think it's incorporated pretty well. So I am going to now add into the pot, making a mess over here, the tortellini. And I'm just going to add the whole bunch in. I'm going to turn the stove up just a bit. I'm turning it up to 4. My stove goes maximum 8, 6, 4 to minimum. So this is the low side of medium, I guess, on your stove maybe. Now this will take anywhere around 10 minutes or so. You just want to keep testing the tortellini to make sure that they're cooked. But if you're cooking them low, it could take as much as 20 minutes. We do like our noodles to be al dente, which really helps when you're trying to freeze them later, if you're trying to freeze this soup for later, because they don't get all mushy and soft when they've been frozen. They do hold up really well. So once this has had a chance to cook all the tortellinis, we'll be back and I'll show you how we serve this out and what it looks like. And I hope that this is something you're going to enjoy. I'll see you at the counter in a few minutes. Well, this is cooked up beautifully and the noodles are soft and ready to go. So I enjoy it. Just the only thing that it needs for my part to accompany it is a spoon. But my husband, I think it's because it's a noodle and he's got it stuck in his head maybe that noodles need Parmesan cheese. He likes a sprinkle of Parmesan cheese on the top. But for me, that is all I need. And there is what's for lunch at our house today. And also what's going to be meals for my husband on the road for probably 4 or 5 meals. So it's a win-win. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video and this really, you know, quick soup, quick and easy. It's velvety, it's absolutely beautifully smooth. I'm running out of words to describe it, but I'm here to tell you it's delicious. It's one that we love and that we will be having regularly now that fall is in the air once again. I will see you guys again soon. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like, comment in the description box below. Let me know if you've ever made this before, and if you have, how you enjoyed it in your household. And I will see you all again soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.